Hands up if you gleefully discovered in 2020 that Moira Rose from Schitt's Creek was also Kevin McCallister's mum in Home Alone.
Kevin!
Ho 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 guys! 30 years ago today, on December 7th, a little movie called Home Alone was released. What was meant to be a cute family Christmas film ended up being a runaway success. It was the second highest grossing movie of 1990 after Jerry Zucker's Ghost. It made Macauley Culkin one of the most famous child actors of his generation, and now the movie is a beloved classic, rewatched and discussed every December by millions. Let me know in the comment section below if you agree that it's not really Christmas until you've watched Home Alone, or Home Alone 2 for that matter. Hit subscribe if you want more movie and TV content, and help my channel grow by hitting that thumbs up button. Why? Because it's Christmas! Anyway, I myself have also turned 30 years old this year. Just saying it out loud, Home Alone is 30 years old makes me feel really old, but it is a fitting occasion to finally review Home Alone on my channel. I will admit, I have seen this movie more times than I can count. It seems a bit redundant to recite the plot because pretty much everybody in the Western Hemisphere has seen this movie, but for those of you that haven't, it's pretty much summed up in the title. 8-year-old Kevin McCalister, playing this film by Macaulay Culkin, is left home alone when his family go on a Christmas holiday to France. Kevin then has to defend his home from two burglars known as the Wet Bandits. They are Harry and Marv, and they are played by Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern. Fun fact, Joe Pesci won his Academy Award for playing Tommy DeVito in Martin Scorsese's crime drama Goodfellas the following year. Both Goodfellas and Home Alone were released in 1990 and are arguably Joe Pesci's most known for roles. 1990 was the year of Pesci. Anyway, Kevin fends off these two robbers by booby-trapping his house with a bunch of crafty traps. And that little boy grew up to be...
I want to play a game.
Seriously, the ingenuity of these traps is masterful. My idea of trapping my brothers when I was growing up was leaving a bucket of water on a door ledge, hoping they'd walk under it and they'd get splashed. But Kevin McCallister's making blowtorches and throwing cans of paint in their faces. It's sadomasochist. I still love watching Home Alone as an adult, partly for the nostalgia, partly out of Christmas tradition, but all it takes is the first few opening notes of John Williams' iconic score. Dum 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 dum. And I'm like 6 years old again. It's classic. But last night I watched Home Alone as a film vlogger reviewer. I was really paying attention, and I have to say that Christopher Columbus did such a great job of constructing this film. The opening scene in the McCallister household is so well done for 3 reasons. 1, it sets up the plot and the tone of the film. It shows us through a series of events how Kevin is plausibly left behind. Unlike for most families, Christmas is a chaotic and stressful time. The frantic family getting ready for their Christmas vacation, as well as all the bickering amongst themselves, lets the audience know that this is going to be a fun-filled family comedy. B, it establishes the characters, including one of its villains and their motives. Kevin wants to be left alone, and Marv wants to steal all the McCallister's possessions. And D, it gets the audience familiar with the predominant setting of the film, which is the McCallister household. Columbus's camera work in the opening scene is very dynamic. It shows us all the different floors and rooms of the house, so by the time the third act showdown between Kevin and the Wet Bandits occurs, we already have a good understanding and knowledge of this environment that we're in. And all 3 of those points I just made are entwined together. The plot is informed by the tone and the setting. This cohesion between all the different elements of the film evidences how well written and how well directed Home Alone is. It's also a lot of fun, this film. Macaulay Culkin is absolutely perfect as the mischievous, smart-mouthed little rascal Kevin McCallister. When your protagonist is a child, very often the kid is adored by the children that are watching, but not necessarily the adults. A lot of child actors can be quite annoying, but that is not the case with Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone. His Kevin McCalister is so cheeky and charismatic. He's likable to all age groups. It's such a joyful performance from Culkin, and he carries this film with ease. Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern are also priceless as the bungling burglars. They're very likable baddies because it's just so much fun to watch them being outsmarted by an 8-year-old. I don't know why, but I crack up every time I hear Joe Pesci go, "Refrigerator, refrigerator, refrigerator." Slapstick comedy can so easily be done wrong, but every pratfall, every booby trap, every reaction is pitch perfect in this film. It never once gets annoying. As for negatives, there isn't too much to moan about, other than like minor nitpicks. Like sometimes you can tell in some shots when there's a stunt double for Macaulay Culkin. And yes, the film might be a little bit dated in its fashion, haircuts, and even insults. My favorite being when Buzz calls Kevin a phlegmwad. "Look what you did, you little jerk." "Kevin, you're such a disease." "Ooh, burn." But I think it all adds to the whole 90s charm of this film. But the one thing that does drive me nuts about this film is when the whole family comes back to the house and reunites with Kevin, and they speak to Kevin for like a minute about his experiences of being home alone, and then the entire family just wanders off and does their own thing like it's a regular day. I just find that such weird character behavior, but then I remind myself that I'm watching Home Alone and not Citizen Kane. Get over it, Luke. So let's ask them 3 questions. Firstly, would I watch this again? Every December without fail. Question 2, do I recommend it for you guys? Absolutely, it ain't Christmas without it. And question number 3, what score do I give it out of 10? A solidly crafted family film which has endured the test of time, so I'm gonna give Home Alone a score of 8.5 out of 10. But as always guys, it's just one bloke's opinion. What do you guys think of Home Alone? Let me know in that comment section down below. Also let me know if you want me to do a review of Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. If you guys really want it, then I will make time for that. Remember, if you did like this video, please help me out by hitting the like button. If you want more movie and TV content just like this, don't forget to click subscribe, and if you want to follow me on any social media, Twitter, Instagram, or Letterboxd, all those links in that video description down below. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. For more things related to movies, TV, and popcorn culture, I'm Luke Carefield, and I'll see you next time. Merry Christmas, you filthy animals, and a Happy New Year.